Hey, restaurant pros, you're out there wondering, how do I hold my management team accountable? How about I spin that on you? How about we talk about why holding your restaurant management team accountable is not an option, it's a requirement. You work so hard to put systems in place to allow you to impose your will without being there. From checklists to counting out our bar drawer to scheduling on budget, ordering on budget, right? We work so hard, recipe cost cards, shelf to sheet inventory. We put a Herculean effort in that, hey, I understand, I follow this guy, David Scott Peters, I gotta put systems in place. Well, the truth of the matter is, you gotta hold your management team accountable or they go away. How do I do that? Well, it starts by creating a culture in your restaurant where the details matter. It's extremely important because if you don't hold your management team accountable to the systems you work so hard to put in place, they're not going to be followed. And those numbers, right, the numbers those systems produce, they're not going to align, right? Your POS system and timekeeping isn't going to match your P&L. Your food cost numbers aren't going to match your P&L. And all of a sudden, you can't trust the numbers. And ultimately, your systems won't work. The key is understanding what the pitfalls are and what you can do to get results. Hey, if you love the idea of this video and other videos like this, make sure you like the video, hit subscribe, and hit that bell so you're notified every time a new video comes out. I'm David Scott Peters, and I've been coaching independent restaurant owners and managers just like you since 2003. I've literally worked with thousands upon thousands of restaurant owners and managers. It's been an incredible journey. And I learned early on what my most successful members, what they do. In fact, some of those I worked with for almost 2 decades. And from their stories, I created something I call the Restaurant Prosperity Formula, what successful restaurateurs do. In fact, I wrote a book with that title. You can find a link in the bottom below if you'd like to kind of check that out. The Restaurant Prosperity Formula starts off with one very specific topic, and that is this, restaurant prosperity, which was defined as what? Freedom from your business and financial freedom. And the only way we can do those things is to put systems in place and hold managers accountable to those systems. Now, here are some of the pitfalls that I've learned over the years working with owners and managers just like you. And one of those things is it just doesn't get done, right? Work doesn't get done. The systems they're not used. It's not done. For instance, what do I mean by that? Hey, chef, saw this guy, David Scott Peters on YouTube. I've got to have recipe costing cards, extremely important. I want them done by the end of the month. Chef goes, you betcha. At the end of the month, what do you have? Nothing. And you get irate, pissed off, and one thing after another. Hey man, we need a new process to make sure that the servers aren't reusing these coupons over and over again. Somebody's got to put that in place. Oh, we're going to put that in place? Oh, yeah. Hey, how come we keep seeing our comps going through the roof? I didn't put that many coupons out. Oh, well, we didn't use the system. See, that's really awful. All of the things that your managers don't do because they don't follow the system, because you don't hold them accountable, means you don't get results. Look, if you don't hold people accountable to systems, your morale is going to be low. Your employee morale will be low. What do I mean? Well, there's going to be this thing called favoritism, whether on purpose or not. See, you might have a policy, no cell phones. And when I work, hey man, everybody use your cell phones. I want you to like me. Let's be friends. Then another manager comes in, and what? I'm writing you up. And the employees are pissed. Why? Was I wrong? Yeah, I was wrong. Because I was letting everybody use their damn cell phones. But the manager who held people accountable to those systems, they're looked at as like, you're evil, you're mean, I can't believe you. Why? Because there's an inconsistency in management enforcing those rules. Because we're not holding all of our managers accountable to the same damn systems. Man, what about crappy Yelp reviews? You don't hold management accountable to your standards? Plate presentation, portion control, right ordering, quality, service level, steps of service. All those systems you work so hard to allow you to put out what needs to happen in your business, the way you want it run. Well, if we don't hold management accountable to those systems, then it trickles down. Nobody else does their job the way it should be done. And our guests have a shitty experience. And they hit Yelp and other websites and they tell thousands upon thousands how bad you are. Hey, what about you still can't leave your business? If you don't hold management accountable to those systems, you feel like a prisoner. You're like, I've got these managers. I know I'm supposed to hire managers, but they're not getting shit done. And so I've got to be a prisoner to my business. I have to be here because if you want something done right, you got to do it yourself. How's that working for you? Right? Because you're not willing to or are not holding managers accountable to those systems you put in place that allow you to impose your will. Things done your way, even if you're not in the building. And last but not least, you don't make the money you deserve. Think about it. Why'd you put the systems in place? For prosperity, freedom from your business, and financial freedom. And without the systems, we are winging it. And winging it doesn't work. Our profitability is disappearing by the day. With COVID-19, we are seeing our sales drop because of our new business restrictions, changing our business models. We're seeing our costs go up, food costs because it's rising with the shortage of beef and pork, the increased use of chicken, crops being plowed over, minimum wage going through the roof. It is a jungle out there, and it's extremely difficult to make money. But if you don't follow your systems, you're going to bleed to death. We can no longer operate our businesses that way. We must put systems in place, but more importantly, holding your management team accountable is not an option, it's a requirement. So what are some of the must-dos? What are some of the things you must put in place in order to make this change your culture to where the details matter, that you care about portion control, you care about service levels, cleanliness, things done your way? Well, it starts with one thing that most restaurant owners never want to do because they don't think you have to. You think that's a big corporate thing. You've got to define your core values. Your core values are who you are as a person. They almost never change. If you're a disgustingly honest person, I mean like so honest that you would chase somebody down blocks because they dropped a penny. When somebody calls you a liar, you get angry, right? You lose it because that's a core value. It's visceral. It's who you are as a person. Well, we need to find those core values and use them in our business. Because what are your team members doing? They're representing you. What does that business represent? You. So you need it run your way. So for instance, you've got to define, hey, excellence. I want only the best quality product. I only want the best service levels. I want every guest with 100% guest satisfaction. You define that excellence. Well, when your managers go buy shitty steaks and you come up and you see in the line that they're curling because they're so thin and so crappy, you lose it. Because why? They're trying to make money because you drove a message home that we need to make money and they bought shitty product, which goes against who you are. You would never serve that to anybody, even your worst enemy. And so you're going to get angry because they stepped on a core value. They did it the opposite way. So you must define your core values because, see, here's the deal. Let's say that manager bought Kobe beef because they heard excellence. We're going to buy the best product possible. You may come in and go, grab a paper bag and hyperventilate and go, oh my gosh, what is this? And the manager goes, well, based on excellence, I would have put out the best product we possibly could. So I bought the very best steaks I could. And now you're going to put your hands on your knees and go, dude, let's talk about profitability. See, I'm not going to be pissed off because that decision aligned with my core values. What I need to do is coach them on what other things go into that decision-making process. So defining your core values is extremely important. Next, Restaurant 101. We are put on this earth to provide an incredible memory, a guest experience, hospitality. And that's hot food hot, cold food cold, clean, safe work environment for the guest employees, wow customer service, incredible product. So you need systems in place that ensure the steps of service are followed, that the plate presentation is right, that the portion controls are there, that every time I come in, if I love the dish my first visit with you, my 100th visit, it's the same dish and I love it again. That I love the atmosphere, it's always clean, I don't notice dust bunnies and dead bugs. I only notice the guests I'm there with. And I have a great experience because everybody follows the same steps of service, are always in clean, crisp uniforms. You name it, it's the same experience. Because that's what we were here to do. You've got to have those systems. You've got to define those things. You've got to define your standards and implement your systems. There is a system, a process, a way to doing anything and everything in your business. So if it's as simple as counting out a bar drawer to $300 the same way every single time, or something I call more advanced dollars per labor hour worked, define what those standards are and then create a system for it and implement that system. Teach your managers what their job is, how to do it, how well it should be done, more importantly, by when. And last but not least, you ultimately have to hold your managers accountable to those systems. See, if you don't hold your management team accountable, then all those pitfalls come into play. You aren't going to make the money you deserve. You're not going to have freedom from your business. You're going to have shitty Yelp reviews. You're going to not have anything get done. Your numbers won't align and so on. Like, it's critical. Now, I'm going to tell you, it sounds easy. Let's just implement systems. Let's hold management accountable. No, it's hard. See, it's the people part of the business that is difficult. The more you define your systems, the more you train your systems on what the job is, how to do it, how well it should be done, more importantly, by when, the easier it is to hold your management team accountable, because they know what their job is and they make a decision to do their job or not do their job, and they're going to be accountable, or what I call answerable, to the resulting consequences. You either did your job or you didn't. And that's the power of systems. That's why they're so important. So if you really want to make change in your business, you have to change your mindset. That if you want prosperity, freedom from your business, and financial freedom, you must hold your management team accountable. It's not an option, it's a requirement. Hey, for more help with your restaurant management challenges, make sure you sign up for a free webinar. My free webinar called The Secret to Building an Accountable Management Team. The link is below. Also, be sure to subscribe for my weekly tips and watch these 2 videos to keep working on improving your restaurant manager's accountability.